first, let's talk about something else that's very important. Social media and these players, that's all they were doing leading up to opening weekend because they had nothing else to do. Fellas, give me some of your must-follows on social. Clinton, I'll start with you.
All right, first of all, we're obviously going to go with my man, Marcus Stroman. All right, you know him pitching for the Mets. You remember him for the Blue Jays. My man has been down in Florida getting nice with it, okay? He's been throwing the ball on docks. He's been showing up with all of his fun content. And he's even been including his kid brother in some of his stuff. Stro is a guy that you have to follow. Do-rag gangsta. I love this, and I love everything he's presented. This is what we call fun, June. I know you love him, too.
Yeah, I mean, Stroman is probably one of the most active baseball players on social media. My first pick is Andrew McCutchen, who put together a lot of very funny videos over the course of the pandemic and the labor negotiations. I talked to McCutchen a couple of months ago just about what he was doing during the time off. And he mentioned the fact that he used to be a big Viner. Obviously, Vine doesn't exist anymore. And so he was trying to put his video-making skills to use and by making a statement. So one of the big videos that he posted that really went viral was when there was the standoff between the owners and the players. And he kind of made this video about the players' perspective on the owners' offers and how it was kind of compared to being offered juice as a kid and then being given water by your parents. I thought it was a really, really funny analogy.
He was duped.
I thought it was a really, really funny analogy, a really, really sharp piece of kind of commentary through a video. And I think it's really, really cool that we're seeing kind of more players embrace their social media presences, because that's not something that a lot of baseball players have been doing over the course of the last decade or so.
2 quick points before I get to your next pick, Clinton. One, did McCutchen confirm if he's on TikTok or not? Because I'm telling you, TikTok is a whole other animal. I'm on TikTok right now, and it's insane. So I need to see him on TikTok.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I'm not a big TikTok guy, so I wouldn't know. I'm listening to you on that one, Derek.
TikTok's insane. Anyway, we just told Giancarlo Stanton 2-run home run, so the Yankees are on the board against the Nationals this opening night 2020. Clinton, your next player pick, must follow on social.
That would be Amir Garrett. He throws for the Reds. You might remember him for the Rembrandt-like performance that the picture of him trying to take on the entire Pirates team provided when he got into a little bit of a fight. But Garrett's story is an interesting one. This guy used to play college basketball, and he's one of these guys that, and this is a theme I'll stick with, he brings a family element to what his social media situation is. You see a lot of pictures of his dogs. You see a lot of pictures of his young lady. And he just presents his life in a way that shows you who the real person he is. And that is something that I love. He didn't come to the game from the standard path, which is, again, something we've talked about a lot of brothers do. And this guy is a personality beyond just wanting to fight folks. Understand that. This dude can throw, and he's a fun guy, and he's a very honest person, June. I know you know what I'm talking about. We love Amir around here.
Yeah, Amir is awesome on social media. He's also got a really good Twitch presence. Another player who's got a really, really large Twitch presence that's only grown since the pandemic started is Blake Snell of the Tampa Bay Rays. He's made headlines because of his Twitch presence. During the labor negotiations, Blake talked about his perspective and his opinion on the entire kind of negotiation between the owners and the players, and how he didn't really want to play at one point. He made headlines through Twitch earlier too, as someone who, when a trade went down with the Rays, he reacted instantly to it with some interesting language that made a lot of headlines. Blake is just an interesting personality, and he's also a former Cy Young Award winner. And I think the thing that's kind of special about Blake's Twitch presence is just kind of inherent to Twitch in general, is that you're getting a camera just straight at him for hours on end. And this is someone who won the Cy Young Award and has an interesting personality. And so, between him and also Trevor May of the Minnesota Twins, those are two of the biggest guys in baseball who are kind of on Twitch on a regular basis.
Camera pointed at your face. Twitch, not to be confused with OnlyFans. Clinton, who's your next pick?
Stop it. Okay, my next pick is D. Gordon. You might know him because he is son of Tom Gordon, a.k.a. Flash, who was a pitcher back from my day who I've gotten to know him a little bit. D. Gordon is one of those guys whose baseball story, again, is just something to be remarked at. Look, he's from a baseball family. Him and his brother are both professional players, never mind his dad. And he's the guy that, again, brings the family element to it. You might remember that he's the one who went yard when Jose Fernandez passed, and he was crying coming around the base pass because of his friend you know? And he's gotten pops for various things in the league. He's come back. He's made his career something. He's one of the guys that in the bigs, again, I love brothers who were just regular old ball players, not necessarily stars, and they still show their commitment and their love to the game through what they mean and how they play. D. Gordon is one of those dudes, man. His dad is a good guy. I really enjoy what he brings from a social media standpoint.
We only have one more pick, and I'm looking at this list right now, and I'm actually flabbergasted that one name that I'm going to get to after June gives us his last pick was left off of this list. I'm going to go to bat for him after June gives us his final must-follow on social pick.
Yeah, my final guy is Sean Doolittle of the Washington Nationals. Sean is one of the most outspoken players in baseball throughout the entire negotiation between the players and the owners. He was consistently providing a player's perspective on everything that was going on. He's one of the most informed guys. He also has a love of books. So over the course of the entire 2019 season, on the road, he'd basically go to independent bookstores and tweet about what books he was reading. Sean is he's a social media. He really kind of puts himself out there in a way I don't think is usual for most baseball players. You really get a sense of what he thinks on a variety of issues, and I think he's one of the most interesting players, whether or not you agree with his politics, to kind of follow on social because he provides a really unique perspective and vantage point into the game.
I'd like to get his take on Rich Dad, Poor
Most
Dad.
Importantly, Sean Doolittle is a Star Wars guy.
He is
and
a huge Star Wars guy.
Myself, I'm a big fan of what Dude brings to the table. He was walking around after they won the daggone championship with his lightsaber still strapped to him in Houston when they were partying. It was fantastic. We love Sean. The Force is with him, and I appreciate that.
He keep that thing on him. What I have an issue with is both of you guys left Tim Anderson off your list. How do you leave him off your list? He's a fantastic follow on Twitter. He's like borderline talking smack to you at the same time of like pumping himself up. I can read one of his tweets and I'm ready to run through a wall. I wouldn't suggest that. Drywall is very expensive to replace, but I'm a little upset you left our boy Anderson off either of your lists.
Tim Anderson also starting up a YouTube channel. He's been posting stuff behind the scenes there too.
Even more of a reason to love him.
I'm going to go first and just say that Tim Anderson is an obvious choice. So that's why I left him off, because if you ain't already following Tim Anderson, then you don't need to be following me. Get it together, y'all. We all know about TA. That man is a monster out there on the South Side. Come on now.
All right, that was a quick rebuttal. You planned that, Clinton.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.